So good evening to everyone. Welcome to Trigger Trade session with myself, William, 1310. You can find me on Discord if you need any help during setup with your algo bots. Very quick overview tonight of Trigger Trade. So what is Trigger Trade? It's a platform developed with by David and myself for building and connecting your strategies to exchanges like Binance, Bitget, Bybit, BingX, Toobit. We've also got another couple of exchanges which are in development at the moment. Toobit, we're just opening up as of tomorrow. We'll be opening up the Toobit beta testers for anybody which wants to join as well. So you'll be able to DM me if you want to be part of that. No problem at all. Might as well just dive straight into it. So I'll just go over to Trigger Trade very quickly. During the session, if you've got any questions, feel free to jump in at any time and stop me. Also, if I'm going too fast or too slow, just ask me to speed up a bit. So when we're on Trigger Trade, very quickly, the login, the homepage, just a very simple website here. So you can either go into login if you already created an account, or you can sign up. The sign up will take you directly to the register page here. So for registering on the website, all you have to do is put in your Discord username here and your email address. We've got a bot in the back end which will sync up all your details, because if you check out the Trigger Trade website itself, down the bottom here you've got the price plan. We are 100% free for everyone. Just difference is David Tick Patreon members get unlimited trades, unlimited alerts per day. So remember to put in the right email address and the right Discord ID to be able to get that. If not, by default you'll be set up with a basic account which only allows you to have one trade and 100 alerts. So just an extra bonus as being part of David Tick Patreon or the website subscriptions. When we go to Trigger Trade and log in, here we're going to have very simple, just a checkbox on the sidebar here for the exchanges. So you've got Bybit, Bitget, BingX, Binance currently. There will be, like I said, is for any beta testers as of tomorrow, which will be able to join. We'll be having also the Toobit as well. Here we also got the API encryptor just down here. So what is the API encryptor? It's just an extra layer of security for anybody which chooses the advanced settings or the other strategy. Here you'd be able to put in your APIs from, for example, Bybit, BingX, etc. So you put in your API and your secret key here. So if I was to write, imagine my API was test, and my secret key is test1, for example here. When I go click on encrypt, as you can see, my new APIs are generated here for me. So like I said, it just gives an extra layer of security in case you ever leave your computer open to public usage with your TradingView account logged in, because if not, if there's any alerts, the APIs are also displayed inside the alert of TradingView. So just so that way at least nobody can actually go and recover your APIs without to be able to transfer funds or do a little prank or etc. So just an extra layer of security, which is quite good here. So tonight we're going to be looking at how to do with Bybit. So we're just going to go click on the Bybit connector. When you click on, by default, the Bybit connector, you end up with David Tech Strategy. David Tech Strategy, this is using the simple bot. So here we'd put in our API key. Select if we're inverse, USDT, or if not spot. Excuse me. Just getting over a cold at the moment, so. So as I was saying, there you got your code which is generated here from Bybit. Just go and click and copy up in the top right corner. And then after that, we've got our strategy which is set up from Bitget here. I just saw a message. No, you haven't missed BingX. I'll be showing that in a second as well. And we're just going to go straight down to the bottom of our chart. So bear in mind this is after you've optimized your strategy, set in your own portfolio, etc. Just scroll down the bottom. And we're just going to go look for the section which has got the alerts. So here we've got our alert global. We're going to check our box for live trading here. We're going to set today's date. Set it to time. So if currently I'm in French time zone, so it's 20:42. So I'm just going to go and put in, I'm going to start trading as of 20:45. So by the time I set up the alert. Here we're going to go and use Simplebot. We're going to leave all the API field areas empty for the Simplebots. We're just going to leave them totally blank. Here we can put in our Telegram ID. So if you want to look at how to get your Telegram ID, we're just going to go back over to Trigger Trade. Oh, that one there. And for that, we're going to need to go into our advanced area settings here. And we're just going to go right down the bottom, and we're just going to go to Telegram setup, which can be here, found here. So here we'd click on add Bitget API bot and the user bot info. That will automatically open up, as you can see on my screen here, a page like so, which will redirect you into Telegram. And so the user info bot will give you your user ID from Telegram. So it's not your actual username, it's the user ID which is stored in a database from Telegram to be able to send you those messages with the all of the trades. So where your stop loss prices, take profit prices, if there's an error, if there's an issue, if your APIs have expired. Really, it's the whole interface, user interface for getting the whole of the logs from the connection between TradingView to your exchange. This is the middleman service, which is Trigger Trade. It's our way to give the log to you without storing any data. So that way, as soon as your trade has gone through sent from Trigger TradingView, sent to our server, then also sent to the exchange. So whether it's BingX, Bybit, Binance. At that point, our server does a restart and deletes everything out of the log, so that way we can't keep any trace. So we don't store any APIs, don't store any secret keys, don't store any of your trades itself. Everything's just logged out and cleaned off and also reset. So if you want to have any logs for issues, so if in case your bot doesn't set up the first time correctly, or you've got any issues which can be cured with leverage, etc., and you don't know how to sort it out, that way if you've got a Telegram bot, you can send it over to me and I'll be able to give you the answer and debug with you how to get your bots working correctly. So that's just a very quick overview on how to set up the Telegram channel. Recently I've had a lot of users which have been asking how to set using the Simplebot. They've been sending messages like for example, that the take profit and stop loss aren't set. So when you're using the Simplebot, by default with just this checkbox here, the stop loss and take profit are defined from the TradingView alerts itself. So they're the ones which will generate the close or reduce position, or close on take profit or take on stop loss. So they don't actually get set to the server, to your exchange, sorry. So if you want to have them as a safety, as a safety net, then also you just select here, so use safety TP and use safety SL. So they'll be set as default on the exchange directly. So at that point, if you're using something like a trailing stop loss inside of Bitget strategy, etc., at that point it will no longer be valid. So always just check what your settings are first for it, because by setting these, they're actually setting like I said, take profit and a stop loss to your actual settings itself. So when that's done, we're just going to go and click on OK. And we're just going to click on 3 dots up here. So here we're going to add an alert message here. We're going to select order fields only. We're going to get the whole of the message, which is here. And earlier on we copied from trigger trade, we copied a code which was generated, so here it is, and we're just going to have it there. By default, if you use a simple bot and put in your API and secret key, as you can see here, encryptor is equal to 1, so that means it's enabled. So by default, your API and your secret key, which is showing here, won't be the same ones as what you're actually showing on Bybit or BingX or any other exchange. I'm just checking the messages quickly. No, that's fine. Has anybody got any questions so far? No, so I'll move on then. So let me go back very quickly to the website. So by going on to there, so here now on the actual exchange, on trigger trade, sorry, on the right you'll be able to see trading view alert details, and here we can copy our webhook URL. So when you copy the webhook URL, we're just going to go back to trading view now and go to our notifications. If it's the first time you've set up, you should have something that looks a bit like this. So we're going to go and check on webhook URL, and by default on the first setup it will be blank like that. So we're just going to put in our webhook that we just copied. So which you can see here, simplified bot v2. Click on create, and also that will create our webhook for us. So bear in mind that the webhooks do change between exchanges. So if they're BingX, Bybit, and or Binance, for example, they're all different webhooks. So always check, make sure you're running the right webhook if you're using multiple accounts on different exchanges. So if you've got, for example, one bot which you want to set up on Binance, and one bot which you want to set up on Bitget, and another one which you want to set up on BingX, you'll have to change it by default on that webhook. But if you're always using the same exchange, normally once when you set up the first alert, as you can see here, now I can go to my second alert here, the webhook has been saved inside a trading view, so you shouldn't have to change it in future. So that was just an overview on how to set up Simplebot. Then also you've got other you've got the advanced settings for more advanced users. So if you want to set your own leverage, if you want to set margins, etc., depending on how you're going to set your trading, the way you're trading. This is more for users which used either v4 versions. Just let me check the messages there for you quickly. Do I need to refresh the settings screen every time for each separate strategy? So if you're using the advanced version, then you'll have to, if each time you do a change inside the strategy, so if, for example, you were using, just let me go back to here quickly. If you're using the advanced settings, which I'll go through in a second, if, for example, you were going and doing your back testing here, and you wanted to, just let me do it. For example, you're setting up one strategy which had a multi-take profit and the other one didn't. So here you'd be using multi-take profit for your back testing. Then you'd go to trigger trade here, for example, and go to advanced settings. Enter in all the fields, so APIs, whether the limit orders, market orders, etc. Cross margin, whether you're using percentage or balance. And here you'd have multi-take profits. You'd need to copy out each one of these fields, so you'd have enter long, enter exit long, enter short, and exit shorts for the strategies. And this time we'll be going right down the bottom of this tab, right down here. As you can see here, we have our entry long. We're going to get the exit long for this one here. And exactly the same for short. Exit short just here. So bear in mind that if you're using this for a strategy and you've got the multi-take profit enabled, as you've enabled it in your code, you can just ignore this part of API for first long. That's defined inside the strategy up here. As you can see now, my multi-take profit has got the placeholders fitted, so the alerts will be using this code here, so without a problem, so that's fine. But as soon as you change anything, so if you were, for example, on one trade you were setting a leverage at 50, then also you want to go and change it, you'd have to regenerate a whole alert from trigger.trade to be able to change your leverage. If you were saying like this one here, I'd leverage at 50. If you're at 25, for example, now there, and you wanted to regenerate it, then you'd copy that one out again, and also you'd have to reset your whole alert again.
Hi, well, I just had a question on that.
Yep.
If that's all right. So if I was like using the same strategy, like dead zone on 5 minutes on multiple coins,
Yep.
can I just copy and paste from the advanced settings from the trigger trade page over to TradingView, or do I need to refresh the trigger trade
Nope, totally.
settings
If
sheet?
you're using the whole, always the same leverage for each coin pair, etc., you can just copy and paste this code. The code is generated the first time, and also you're fine. Only time which you have to do it is if you're, for example, changing, like I said, buy leverage or sell leverage, or if not your quantity, if you're using different amounts of quantity for each one of them for position sizing. But apart from that, you can just copy the whole of the same code. Me personally, when I generate a code for myself for using the advanced bot, I just copy it into a text file, save it on the computer, and also it's there for later, and also just copy and paste for as long as I know what the leverages are for each one of them.
Okay, that's cool. Cheers.
No problem.
So I also have like a question.
Yep.
So this is the advanced settings, right?
Yep.
So this differs a little bit from the simple bot, which seems logic, right? Simple. But does the simple bot have like less features? For example, that you cannot have a limit order and stuff.
No, not at all. It's when we done the dead zone, for example, here we're on V5. So as of V5 setups, we generated the simple bot with David. So it takes everything from outside of the actual strategy itself. For previous versions, we had the advanced settings, which were, for example, for buy and sell leverage, was just those two kind of fields which could be individually set. So you could have, for example, if you're going in the long, you could have a different leverage from a longer purchase. So if you're going for a long, you could have it for a leverage set at 30, and a sell, you could have it set at 25. Unlike using the simple bot, it will go in one way, so it's all using the actual leverage from the strategy itself. There's just some small differences like that, that's all. So that was a very quick overview on how to set up Trigger Trade this evening for the bot setups. So you can either use, like I said, you can either use any of these connectors. So you've got Bybit, BingX, Bitget, Binance. Bear in mind with the UK leaving, well, with Bybit leaving the UK, more like, not UK leaving Bybit, a bit different way that way. Currently, David's been talking to BingX. So if you use the BingX exchange, which is available in the UK, for example, and you go onto the account and create a new account with BingX, by using the David Tech affiliate link, you'll get 20% reduction on your trading fees for any new signups. So just as a side note on that one. For setting up BingX, exactly the same as for Bybit, for example. So either the simple but advanced settings. I mean, if it's the first time you're setting up algo trading with bots, I highly recommend use the simple bot. Just that way you can cover it. It's very easy to set up, as it's called. It's just called the simple bot. It makes it easier for users to be able to set up within a very short period, and also in that way they can get going and have the first bots working within a few hours of running together. Has anybody got any questions before I start moving on? Nope, so far. So what's new to this week? This week we've added a new add-on to TradingView, to Trigger Trade, sorry, which is just going to be this.
William?
Yep.
I think that Housey was talking. Somebody else was talking. Don't know if you could hear.
Nope.
Maybe not.
No, I
No?
didn't hear anybody else.
I didn't hear either. Yes,
I
we can hear you.
Yep.
Nope, I can't hear. See once someone's typing.
Yeah. William, you didn't hear, I guess.
Nope.
Is that right?
No.
Okay. It was a question. Are you sorry? So the question was, I believe you're using Bybit. Is that correct? Did you say? Yeah. Okay. So the question was about VPNs and being able to debug if you're using Bybit inside the US. Will. So he's having trouble setting things up. The problem is unless we see your unless we can see your actual log, it's very hard for us to know where the problem is. Can
And
you
I
hear
think,
us, Will?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I think with William's newest release for the log reader,
Yes.
can you show to the people that, William?
Yep. Sorry, I
William's
can't.
just about to show. Yeah.
Can
Show.
everybody see my screen or not?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Indeed.
we can.
Okay.
And
Weird. I've got some users which I can hear and others which I can't this evening.
it's that cold you got.
Yeah. So if you go to Trigger Trade, I mean, you'll be able to, at the end of this stream, I'll be publishing the this week's slides for Google Docs. You'll be able to find this link inside of it. And so here you can go through and just go and upload a file. So if you've got your Trading View alert log, click on Upload and Display. And as you can see here, it's got the ID alert, which will be the same from your Trading View alert. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, okay. So as you can see here, you've got the Trading View ID alert log for which will show here. And if you've got any keys, so I generated this file earlier on with a load of different missing keys, for example. This will only show you the logs which have got errors inside of the trades, and it will tell you if you've got something missing. So whether there's an API key which isn't missing, a coin pair, a quantity, for example, if there's not, if you've got if you're missing your quantity, or if you've got the alert which isn't set up properly and it's transmitting, for example, not having stop losses and take profits set, etc. It will tell you what's missing on there, how to get it working. This is just a plugin which I've been working on this week. I'll be releasing the first versions of it this evening and be working on it for till the end of the week to be able to get fine pointing for everybody, to be able to give full descriptions to everybody on what's not working on each one of them. So hopefully I'll be able to help out a bit for users. And also in that way you can just send me over.
And Hadi, if you have any problems, setting up, one of us will jump in a one-on-one with you to help you set up the problem, help you set up and find out what's wrong with it. No problem whatsoever. William?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Feel free to continue.
Okay, you continue. Yeah, all right, mate.
No.
All good. You didn't know if I was talking or not, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I thought it might have stalled again. So, like I said earlier on, I mean, pretty much we've gone through everything this evening already with you guys. So, always enable. So, Telegram, very easy to set up. I mean, it takes 10 seconds to 5 minutes to set up, but can change a lot for your trading methods, make it easier for you guys to be able to figure out where the errors are coming from, where the issues are coming from. Like I said, we don't store any logs, so the server, so if there's a missed trade or something like that, jump in and set up Telegram, and also that way we can figure out together what your issue is and sort it out as soon as possible to be able to get it back up and trading for everybody. This is just what the Telegram messages look like. You've got your trade TPs set, TP1, TP2 if there are any values, and also your entry prices depending on what they are, if they're a close, an entry, a stop loss, etc. Everything will be displayed in there, and also when you get an error it also displays it inside of it for you. So that was it for that part for me this evening. Of course, you've also got the useful links trigger trade. So for setting up the bots, you've got an FAQ inside there, and you also got now inside a members.david.tech area. Let me just go and log into that website quickly, and I'll show you. See if I'm logged in or not. Just let me take off screen just 2 seconds so I can log in.
William's also been working this week on optimizing all the servers so that we get super fast trades. For anybody that's a David Tech member, we'll get a new webhook URL or whatever and you'll have even faster trades. So that's something that we've all been working on this week as well.
There you go. Sorry, just 2 seconds. Let me open up this page back again. Put it back over there. So if you scroll down on the side of David Tech here, you've got the trigger trade area. So you've got all the updates coming through, placeholders if you're using other strategies, or if you want to set up your own alerts with the placeholders for David Tech strategies, if you want to add any fields. And here you've got an area for documentation for how to set up. Sorry, click too fast there on documentation here. And here you've got how to set up, for example, the trigger trade and trading view, how to do a transfer of KYC on Bybit if you're using Bybit, and this one here, which I was just looking for, enable Telegram and Telegram ID. Here you've got a quick post on how to set up the Telegram. As you can see here, on how to get your user ID. As you can see, your ID is not the same. Your username will show up here, and your trigger trade and your Telegram ID shows here. So that's the one which you need to copy. And paste inside of the trading view. So that's it from me this evening, unless anybody's got any questions. I see someone's typing.
There is a question in the chat, William.
Okay. So inverse bot. So if you're going to be using, for example, the simple bot for inverse trades, inverse perps. So here we instead, let me just load up a chart here. You'd be using BTC USD. Let's have a look. .p for the buff, just to be able to get perpetuals. So inverse, you'll be using BTC USD charts and not USDT. And just scroll down the bottom here. Once again, we'll just be enabling the simple bot. Here we've got our simple bot enabled like so. And also we'll just go back over to trigger trade. Right, close the page, 2 seconds, sorry guys. And also you just click on your connector like so, and here you choose inverse instead. Enter your API, generate your code. As you can see, compared to the previous code, which if you look on the, go back onto the video from earlier on, now you've got inverse, which is set to 1 for that exchange. Copy that code out and go back to trading view. Select an alert for the dead zone on BTC USD. Once again, it's USD, not USDT. Copy and paste that code inside like that, and then also just create it, and also you'll be done. So sometimes TradingView gives this kind of error for just saying that the code, just make sure double check that the code's correct. It is correct from when it's generated from the website. Just click on create, and there you go. That's you're done for setting up a new alert for it as soon as it comes back up. So bear in mind that when you're using inverse trading, instead of having funds in your USDT account, you need to have it in, for example, your if you're using a trade like BTC USD, you have to have the funds in your BTC wallet, else it converts it to USD when it opens the trade and backwards again. Note you set up exactly the same as what you would before, just running. Here you need to change to BTC, sorry, your base currency. It only applies for the backtesting results itself, so just to give you an idea on the backtesting results. Are there any other questions? No problem. Okay, cool.
William?
Yep.
Hatty's talking. Just about. Sorry, he can't hear you. I'm going. I'll just. I'm not sure why. I'll just repeat the question after you've finished, Hatty. No problem. No problem. Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So the question, William, was about if we change or modify settings, would it have any effect on the alert? So once you've set up your alert on one time frame, so you'll have to do it for each and every one of your time frames. So you'll have 3 alerts if you have 3 different time frames. Once they're set up, they are set in stone. And if you change something inside the settings, it won't make any difference to that alert that's already been set up. If you want to then change and have a different setup, you will have to delete the old alert and then add it again.
Perfect. Very clear. Thanks.
Okay,
no problem.
Now I can hear you, Herty. Sorry about
that.
Do not know why it wasn't working since earlier on, but
cool. Nice one, Will. Great stream again.
So so like David was just saying a second ago, so if I had my alert set up for this trade currently already running, and for example I changed my for example if I changed that my take profit to an R&R instead, click on OK. Just to give this an example, currently by default this trade here will send through as if my stop loss and my take profit was sent as fixed percentages. So if I want to get it to be able to work with the new setting which I've done, either I delete and reset a new one, or if not I can just go and click on edit and just click on save, and also that will re-update the log. So that will save the new version of settings for
it. Great, thanks.
No problem.
Somebody asked about Mixi to come up with Futures API. I've got an appointment with Mixi. I was speaking to them this morning. This early afternoon. So hopefully, I've been promised that I'll be able to talk to the Futures API team. So hopefully soon we'll have a Mixi connector as well. That'd be nice, especially with the fees that they offer. Unfortunately, they won't obviously be able to give us better fees because they're already the lowest in the game, but it'd be nice for us to also be able to trade on 0.01 fees. Apparently, their liquidity is very good as well, isn't it, Will?
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Yeah. as soon as they come back with a new API, the code is already done for Mexi. I mean, we put it in beta testing, and 2 days later they disabled the future API. So hopefully they haven't made too much changes to the way that the API services work. So we have to be back up and running with it as soon as they enable it.
Are they in the UK? I know that they do require. I have, because I signed up for today with them. I know that I think they require a KYC. So anything that requires a KYC is generally won't last. I don't think will last very long in the UK. I don't know though.
So that was it for me overviewing Trio Trade this evening. If anybody's got any questions, if not, I'll stop recording. I'll stick around for a little while longer inside of the chat, and in case anybody pops up with any ideas or any questions which they want answering for Trio Trade. And then Austin, if not, I'll wish you all a great evening.
All right. Thanks for the presentation. It was very helpful.
Thank you.